It's no secret that the oceans are filled with riches. Since the first ocean-faring adventurers took to the waters centuries ago, misfortunes have befallen unsuspecting sailors and their precious cargo. From perfect storms to pirates, there's no way to know how much of Earth's riches are somewhere lying on a seabed just waiting to be discovered. With all those millions sitting just beyond the water's edge, it's no wonder ocean salvage has captured imaginations across the globe. But just what is still out there to claim? And how likely is it to be recovered? Here are 3 of the most expensive shipwrecks in history. But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more similar content. Let's dive in. 1. The San Jose, $17 billion. Launched in 1698, the San Jose was one of 2 twin ships built to join the Spanish treasure fleet. With 3 masts and 64 guns, the galleon departed for its final voyage as the flagship of a flotilla of 3 Spanish warships, a hulk, and 14 merchant ships. As hurricane season was approaching, General José Fernández de Santillán was eager to set sail. Despite knowing that the British had a heavy presence in the area, the fleet set sail destined for Cartagena, Colombia on 28 May 1708, hoping to slip through the passage unnoticed. Unfortunately for General José and the rest of his fleet, they were intercepted by the British on 8 June 1708, where an intense battle ensued. During the fight, one of the powder magazines on the San Jose ignited and detonated, destroying the ship. Along with most of her crew of 600 people, the San Jose sank to the depths with a hold filled with gold, silver, jewelry, and emeralds. Alas, for those of you hoping to pull on your snorkels and swimming costumes nearly 270 years later, the wreck of the San Jose was discovered off the coast of Colombia in 1981. It has since been claimed as part of Colombia's submerged patrimony, meaning that the wreck and its contents are protected for preservation by the Colombian government. The wreck's location has since been classified and remains a Colombian state secret to this day. 2. The Merchant Royal, $1.5 billion. Fans of the Outer Banks drama will be no stranger to the Merchant Royal, aka the Royal Merchant, or the Land's End Gold Ship. A merchant galley ship built in London in 1627, the Merchant Royal was used for trading with Spanish colonies in the West Indies under Captain John Limbre. Whilst on a return trip to England in 1640, the ship sprung a leak in her hull and had to drop anchor suddenly in the southern Spanish port of Cadiz. Whilst the Merchant Royal was repaired, a ship in the neighboring berth caught fire. Always looking for an opportunity to raise extra funds, Limbre offered to use the Merchant Royal to deliver the cargo, rumored to be gold and silver destined to pay 30,000 Spanish troops, from the destroyed vessel. All told, when the Merchant Royal left Cadiz, she was laden with an obscene amount of wealth in gold, silver, and jewels in equal amounts. However, she wasn't long into her journey when her hull again sprung a leak, and the ship had to be abandoned. She sunk approximately 30 miles off Land's End coast in Cornwall. Of the 58 crew members aboard, 40 men, including Captain Lambre, escaped in boats to be picked up by the Merchant Royal's sister ship, the Dover Merchant, while 18 went down with the ship. The good news for treasure hunters is that, to date, the wreckage of the Merchant Royal is yet to be found, though experts think they're getting close. In 2019, nearly 380 years after it sunk, a fishing trawler called the Spirited Lady caught an anchor that could have been from the lost ship in her nets. With no way to conclusively prove whether the anchor belonged to the Merchant Royal, the location of the wreckage is still a mystery. 3. The Fleur de Lamar, $2.6 billion. When the Fleur de Lamar was built in 1502, she was designed to be one of the finest ships in the Portuguese fleet. Weighing 400 tons and 118 feet long, the Fleur de Lamar had a lengthy and fruitful career as the flagship in the Indian Ocean, and took part in a number of campaigns over her 9-year career. Despite starting her career as one of the most advanced vessels, when the Fleur de Lamar set sail destined for home in November 1511, she was starting to show her age. Described as barely seaworthy, the Fleur de Lamar had undergone many major repairs over the years, and campaign after campaign had started to take its toll on the ship, so much so that she was due to be decommissioned once she returned to Portugal. However, while all those aboard expected this to be the Fleur de Lamar's final voyage, they couldn't have expected just how final it would be. Following Portugal's successful campaign in Malacca, the Fleur de Lamar was laden with the riches stripped from the royal palace of the Sultan of Malacca. It's believed that in her hold were 80 chests of gold and 200 chests overflowing with rubies, diamonds, emeralds, coins, and perfumes, and jewelry-encrusted furnishings that decorated the royal palace. In fact, the ship was so heavily laden that many of her crew members were anxious about whether the ship was capable of transporting such a load. Unfortunately for the crew, it didn't take long for them to find out. Beset by a storm shortly into their return journey, the Fleur de Lamar attempted to move closer inland to avoid the worst of the weather just off the coast of Sumatra. Sadly, this maneuver doomed the ship, and she was dashed against the shoals of the coastline splitting the ship in two before sinking her and her crew of 400 to the depths. Although lost just off the coast in shallow waters, the ship and her contents remain undiscovered to this day. That was all from us today for this video, folks. See you in the next one.